Hi, everybody. It's me, Leo Brown. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to those of you across the land, across the pond. Okay, so I wanted to come on and talk about, something that has been a bit of not really a conundrum, but I think in like the occult, spiritual, tarot community, a lot of people, for some people, this is a sensitive topic. And before I go into that, let me say thank you to all of you who are watching, who are commenting and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. So please keep that going. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay, now let's get into it. So the topic that I actually want to talk about is tarot reversals. Some people, like I've been to some readers that don't who use cards primarily. Some don't read reverse cards. Some do. And it just begs the question. If you get a reverse card in the tarot, right? You get a tarot reading and the card's in reverse. Excuse me, does that mean necessarily that it's a bad card? Um, For me, I think it's a mix. I think it depends. Number one, I think it depends on the client, on whom you're reading for, and how they react to it, because the tarot really reveals what's going on subconsciously, like what you're thinking in a deeper realm in your mind, body, and spirit versus what you say. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I guess the best way I would describe it, it's like talking with an astrologer who can kind of show you, like, your sun sign, right? You know your rising sign, but your moon is who you really are. You know what I mean? Like on the emotional level. And if you know anything about the signs, then that's true. Like I'll just use myself. So, for instance, I am a Leo sun, I'm a Leo ascendant, and I'm a Capricorn moon, right? So what I show, what I show on the outside is my Leo sun, right? And my Leo ascendant. My Leo ascendant is the one that wants to be seen and known and on camera and things like that. But my Capricorn moon is someone that's very guarded, is someone that's very private, someone that emotionally likes stability, someone that wants structure, someone that wants peace. And people that really know me outside of this, they know that's exactly how I am. I've had a lot of people tell me, they're like, you're not the typical Leo. And I'm really not in my mind. But getting back to the tarot, that's basically how the tarot works. The tarot is kind of I always say like tarot is your subconscious, astrology is your roadmap. And then what you choose to do with said information that you receive is up to you. But getting back to tarot reversals. So a lot of times when people get a reverse card, they freak out. Some I've seen it happen. Some people, oh my God, or they think, oh, it's not going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, it depends on what the card is. One, it depends on your reaction to said card, because you have to remember too that when you get a reading, right, it's a forecast, meaning like the weather. So if you talk to your weatherman, or listen to the weatherman on the news, and the man says, well, today we're going to have partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of rain, right? And you're like, okay, so I'm not going to pack my, let me go up a little more with a 50% chance of rain. So you go, well, it's going to be partly cloudy. I'm not going to pack my umbrella. So you don't pack it, but then it rains, right? Or you pack your umbrella and it doesn't rain. So it's like that with tarot in a sense. It's a forecast. It's a probability of what could come to pass. You know what I mean? Because nothing is set in stone. I often say, which I'm actually going to stop saying this, but I often say, if things were set in stone, I'd be very rich and very thin, and I'm neither one. I have to stop saying that because that's actually not good juju. But but it's true, and I'm neither one of those things yet. So when you get a reverse card, it depends on the card, it depends on your reaction, and it depends on what you may be going through, what you may be dealing with. Oftentimes, and I'm gonna pick a random card, okay? So because their reversals aren't always bad. You know what I mean? They really aren't. So I'm just gonna pick a random card. Let's see what card wants to come out and play today. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so let me just stop. Here. So, saying the card I have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant's in reverse. So this necessarily isn't, and if you know anything about the Hierophant is represented by Chiron, who is the wounded healer. So the Hierophant necessarily isn't a bad card, right? There's no, at least to me, this is my opinion. There's no good or bad cards in tarot, in my opinion. But to the client or whom you're reading for, they may represent this as a negative thing. For me, when I get a reverse card like this one, it just tells me that emotionally there's still some healing to do. There's still, or you've done the work, but it's slow. Like you don't see the reaction. You don't see like say you've been going to therapy, you've been doing your past life regression work, you've been journaling, but you don't see any changes. You know what I mean? Or in this case, um, you might be in denial about some of your emotional baggage. You might be feeling like, well, I'm fine. I don't have, you know what I mean? Because it can often mean that as well. So to me, reverse cards are not bad because if you get this in, you know, in an upward position, then it just means that right now instead of you picking at your wounds, you're learning from them. And they're helping you to have more insight, not only into yourself, but into the way you see the world and the way the world sees you. So I think it just depends, in my opinion. I don't believe that reverse cards are bad, quote unquote. I just think that it means just that things are slow. Things are gonna take time. And if you think about life and how life works, right? We don't go from birth to 6 years old in 2 days. We go from birth to 6 to 16 to 26 to 36 to 46 and so on. And it takes time. You know what I mean? Now, to us, it may seem like, well, 1 minute I blinked and I'm 40. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, it took time, you know, but when you're not, but the thing of it is, and this is and to me, tarot is like this. When you're not focusing on it, that's when things happen. That's when the magic happens. That's when the grass actually grows when you're not, looking at it all the time. So I think when you get a reverse card, it's not that things aren't going to happen or they're not going to come to pass. It's just that there's still some things you need to do in order for this to come because right now it's coming, but it's a slow progression instead of a fast one. Um, so I personally don't think that reverse cards are bad. The cards in reverse are negative because they're really not. If anything, to me, they're just telling you like, okay, you're gonna get here, but excuse me, but there's still some things you have to do. There's still some work you have to do, and you may not feel like it. Case in point, if you get let me think of something. If you get the Ace of Cups and it's in reverse, as we all know, the cups deal with love, relationships, emotional boundaries, things like that, matters of the heart. So you get the Ace of Cups and it's in reverse. It just means that you're ready to love, right? But at the same time, you're like, I don't know. So you have like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. Whereas like I want to be in love. I want a relationship. I want to have, a mate. But part of me is afraid because of what I've gone through. And I keep replaying what I've been through in my head. Whereas if you get the same card in an upright, it can mean that you're very open. You're very ready for love to come and you're very ready to pour into someone, but someone to pour into you. And the opposite could be true in the sense of it being reversed, where it's like you're ready to love, but you're tired, you're emotionally spent. You're tired of pouring into people and you don't pour into you back. And not just in regards to intimate relationships, but even loving yourself. It could mean that, self-love wise, you're not there yet. You're still kind of jaded. You still, if you get it in reverse, it's a slow progression. You're still hurting. You know what I mean? You're healing, because if you look at any healing process, it takes time. You don't go from where you can, but it's rare. So you break your arm or you break a leg, it takes time for you to get the bone and healed, and you got to be in a cast, and then after that you have to do physical therapy, and so it's a whole process. And I think the tarot works in the same way. Unfortunately, we live in a world where everything is instant, or at least that's what we think. That's what we've been told to think. But really, with tarot reversals, which is why I do them, is to show you, like, no, everything is not instant. You know, it takes time for you to get what you need, because it's not always about what you want, but for you to get what you need, it takes time and it takes work. And you have to be the one to do the work, because when you read, like, if case in point, if I read for Linda, or Linda Bertha, I'll use that. So if I read for Linda Bertha, right, and she's like, Leo, I want a boyfriend, I want a man, I want to get married. Okay, well then, through the use of the tarot, we will map out what she may need to do to get what she wants, which is she wants to mate, she wants to get married. So if that's the case, and in the course of the reading, I say to her, and I use the hair fun again, I say to her, well, hey, in order for you to have the kind of man you want, you got to do some work with you. You got to learn to trust your instincts. You got to learn, because what I'm picking up and what the tarot is telling me is that you're not there yet. You're still picking on old scabs that happened to you 3, 4, 5 years ago. So you got some work to do. So it's not always a negative, at least in my opinion. But I just wanted to talk about that today. I thought that was a good topic, if any. Let me know what you guys think. For those of you who read tarot, for those of you who do any kind of esoteric work, when you get a quote unquote, when you get a quote unquote negative reaction, or say you get a negative reading, or what um what does it spell for you? What do you do? How do you handle it? How do you reassure your client? Things like that. So let me know. And also, do you read your cards in reverse? For those of you who are readers, do you read tarot cards in reverse? Because I think that's a good question to ask as well. So let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you guys and get a discussion going. So until next time, my sugar bears, I say to you, be teachable, be learnable, love yourself, and most of all, be you. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.